basically said, hey, we're rebuilding for a couple of years. And the Celtics fans are okay with it, but I think the Patriots have made it a point to say, no, we're not rebuilding. It's like, yeah, but you should be. I mean, they could have made those trades at the deadline, got some extra draft picks. They did. So I share your frustration. I'm fine with the bad season, but just show me that you're building towards something.
Dave, thanks for the call. That's my whole point. Are we building towards something here? Yes or no? And that's my frustration and my overall apathy towards these final two games. Doesn't feel like you're really building anything. Cam's in Taunton. You're up next with McCarthy and Hood. What's up, Cam?
And you guys hit it right on the head. This year has been an abject failure for everybody. Nobody got what they wanted out of this. You don't have a quarterback. And you don't have a quarterback. You're going to miss the playoffs, and you're going to be in the middle of the draft. Nobody wanted either tanking or going to the playoffs. Got anything they wanted. This year has been who has more of a chance of reason to be optimistic now? Patriots fans or Chargers fans?
I mean, Chargers fans have the quarterback, right? You've got a complete clown for a head coach there, but you have the quarterback. At least you feel like there's a building block there. And listen, I don't think I didn't want the Patriots to tank, Marshall. I still think that they can build from the middle. I mean, this is not the NBA where building from the middle is extremely difficult. You don't need to go to the very bottom of the draft. That would have been the last thing I wanted to see from the Patriots.
I mean, it could be worse, right? You could be the Jets.
Sure, yeah. The Jets are, maybe, they'll get a top pick, but, you'd still be the Jets. You don't have Belichick, all of those things. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, you could have the Jets season. You could have Bill Belichick captaining your ship to a 1-15 season.
And not getting Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people really want that. I know that people, in theory, I think they would like to have a top whatever pick, a top 1-2 pick. I don't think they really understand the slog of what a NFL season is like when that's what you're out there getting.
You think this season was bad? And it was. And you're going to go, probably 7-9? I mean, 6-10 worst case scenario, which I don't totally rule out. I mean, the Jets have beaten the Rams and Browns in the last 2 weeks, but, I mean, let's be totally honest here. You're probably going to go 7-9, and it felt painful enough by our lofty and high standards. You didn't want them to go forward to a deal. You want to be the Houston Texans right now? No. And, for one point, I think you can find a quarterback. I think you can build for the middle. It's not always the first guy who goes who is the best quarterback in a draft. I mean, look at Patrick Mahomes. He was the second guy taken. Deshaun Watson, third guy taken. Dak Prescott, third rounder, fourth rounder. Russell Wilson, third rounder. Lamar Jackson, 32nd overall. You can identify the next guy. That's my frustration with this season, though.
Oh, don't get me started on Lamar Jackson, by the way, which is a whole other...
We're not going there today.
A whole other place.
But the simple frustration is that you didn't even begin the process of finding the next guy. So this was a complete and total throwaway and waste of a season.
Yep.
Is it fair for me to call it a throwaway and a waste?
Again, though, I think you seem to believe that we all should have known, or most specifically Bill Belichick should have known, that Cam Newton was going to be this bad. And even you admit, you didn't expect him to be this bad.
I didn't think he'd be very good.
And by the way, if he were just a modicum better, then they're probably a low-level playoff team.
Okay,
so, just take for a moment. Let's assume for a moment, walk with me down this path. He's a modicum better, right? Now they're a playoff team, and they're going to go into the first round, and they're going to lose.
And it's a success.
Except that you've also still not built toward anything. Well, you are in exactly the same spot of you have not built toward anything, except you had a mediocre quarterback, and you got blown out in the first round of the playoffs. Except that maybe now you're tempted to bring Cam Newton back.
Yeah, actually, to call it a success would be a little unfair. It's better than and just actually flat out wrong. I mean, that is the whole point of transitioning away, is that you start to find your next guy, and maybe that is the real complaint here, is it's not directly Cam Newton. Although, let's not let Bill Belichick off the hook here, because he missed on the evaluation, he neglected the position, and signed the last guy remaining. Because that was Cam Newton. He just decided he was going to sign the last guy remaining. Isn't it fair for us to criticize him for that? And, when you see him throwing 84 yards, 69 yards, 110 yards, and really not physically being able to play the position, and you still stick with that guy, isn't that on you too? A, because you're still sticking with that guy, and B, because you probably feel that the guy you drafted behind him, or the young guy you have behind him isn't worthy of that job. Doesn't that all fall on Bill?
I mean, it does. And again, you and I agree that the preparing for the post-Brady era has not worked out. I just look at it from the start of this season, his options were limited. That's all. Jared Stidham, I mean, well, but, and again, we could relitigate things. He wanted to move on from Brady and have, Jimmy G in here. That was his plan. And so when he wasn't allowed to follow through on that plan, and you could argue whether or not that was the right plan, he was forced to come up with a new one kind of on the fly over the course of a couple of years, and it hasn't worked out. And again, Cam Newton really worked out poorly, worse than anybody, I think, predicted.
It's interesting. You mentioned that Bill wanted to move on from Tom Brady and, make Jimmy Garoppolo the next guy. Can we just reevaluate something real quick? Did Bill get that evaluation right? The whole point of moving on from Brady was that, well, he's going to age and he's not really going to be able to play anymore and you need to find the next guy. You see the way Brady looked over the weekend? Did Bill get that evaluation right? 617-779-0985. I want to get into that and your thoughts after this. Let's get a quick update from Marshall Hook here on the headlines. McCarthy and Hook in for the guys.
Coming your way tonight, and it's going to feature your New England Patriots coming into this one at, as we have discussed, 6-8 and eliminated from the playoffs. They'll be hosting the AFC East champion Buffalo Bills, who come in at 11-3. Kickoff for this one is set for 8:15 in the p.m. with pregame coverage coming your way right here on 98.5, the Sports Hub. That will begin at 5:30. The Celtics in.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Nothing. What are you doing?
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to get, this place has, dumplings, pan-fried ones. I was going to grab those. They have this, I thought you might like the crispy peanut chicken. It's a famous battered crispy chicken served over, steamed veggies, but I was just going to tell them with rice.
Whatever.
There's also, you don't like lemon, but that's a lemongrass chicken.
It's all good. Eat whatever.
Okay, I'll grab a couple different things.
Teriyaki and fucking the dumplings are fine by me.
I'm gonna get dumplings too, and then they have chicken on a stick.
Which is their teriyaki, I would imagine.
Yes, but it's like a marinated chicken with Thai herbs and
spices. Yeah, I know what it is. Like lemongrass and whatever. Where are you still over there?
Yeah.
When are you leaving that?
Probably in the next 15 minutes, but that's why I'm calling you, because I was going to order some food, and Nikki said this was wicked good, the crispy peanut chicken.
Yeah, whatever.
Alright, I'm going to order some food, I'll pick it up, and I'll be home. I'll call you from there.
Alright, love you, bud.
Love you, baby.
At your local New England Honda dealers, because around here, we Honda.
Finishing a bachelor's in under 2 years? It's possible for most adults with UMass Lowell's accelerated and affordable online courses. Explore course options starting January 25th at UMass Lowell. Visit gps.uml.edu.
We make USAA insurance for veterans like James, a former drill instructor made of high expectations. When he got into a fender bender and called his old insurance company, he got the runaround. That's when his Marine buddy told James about USAA. They have my back. James realized he was paying too much for bad service and said, "It's time to switch." He called USAA right away. Our agents took the time to understand his needs, put in the work to get him the right coverage, and even found him some serious savings. USAA insurance is made the way James needs it, all squared away, with savings that meet even his standards. Switch and you can save with USAA Auto Insurance. Get a quote today at USAA.com/auto. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for. Ability to receive a quote depends on membership eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. From rent increases to increased orders to, I'm gonna say it, unprecedented times. But don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig. With the flexibility to update your bandwidth bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get a powerful and reliable internet solution from Comcast Business, starting at just $69.99 a month for 24 months with a 3-year agreement. Plus, get free installation when you order online. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Offer ends 1/3/2021. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business Internet and Workforce Mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Equipment installation taxes and fees extra, subject to change.
Ready to say bye-bye to 2020? At Venezia, not only are they ready, but Chef has also crafted a special New Year's Eve menu for the occasion. Join them on New Year's Eve in a safe, festive environment with their family at Venezia. Enjoy an amazing dinner with beautiful views and plenty of free parking. For more information, please call 617-436-3120. That's 617-436-3120. Or visit VeneziaBoston.com.
Thanks to GeneSync DNA technology, Fat Burn America can create the right plate strategy to help anyone lose weight.
You decided to upgrade your outdoor deck. So you ordered the essentials: a power washer, a set of patio chairs, and a shiny new grill. And you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential deck addition, a bird feeder. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more-rewarding. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Beth just said goodbye to her Rolling-Out heaters.
Goodbye.
She sold them on Mercari to Shelley, who gladly said
Hello.
just after she said goodbye to a set of bright orange cookware.
Really, Mom? Citrus?
They sold quickly on Mercari to Dan.
Oh, these are groovy.
Then Dan sold his rollerblades on Mercari,
Bye-bye. I bike now.
which took us back to where we started with Beth, who said
Hello, rollerblades. Whee!
buy and sell almost anything from home with Mercari, your marketplace. Find it on the app stores or Mercari.com.
At Acura of Boston, buying a new vehicle is easier than ever. Shop their great selection of new Acuras and start your purchase online. It's all part of the Bernard & Cares Price Pass. Fast, simple, and reliable online car buying. Visit AcuraofBoston.com.
Today's Zolak and Bertrand show is captured for the future.
I feel like I've been ranting about this for 10 years.
And you can download the podcast anytime at 985thesportshub.com.
Time and temperature being brought to you by the Exergen Temporal Scanner right now at 2:39. We're looking at 49 degrees under those cloudy skies. Make sure your family doesn't have a fever by taking the temperature of dinner and in the morning. Stay safe with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, the #1 preferred thermometer of pediatricians. I'm Marshall Look on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 Sports.
Felger Mass. Talking about #1 most wanted Serbian. Point A to point B, please. They know how to build winning relationships. Don't keep smacking it. More than you. We don't. Listeners don't. They have no idea what you're talking about. Felger Mass. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Radio looks fires a shot toward the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown Tampa Bay. It is caught by Antonio Brown. A defender on him. He's got a touchdown grab in 2 games in a row now.
Catch that one on Saturday, Hook. I like that one. Hell of a weekend for my guy there. It was nice. Good game. Yeah, against a team that didn't have a...
You and I sat there and watched it.
No, we thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Matt McCarthy and Marshall Hook in for the guys today. 617-779-0985. Got full phone lines right now, so when somebody drops off, you pick up the phone and join us. You know, I think in some ways we focused a little too much on kind of the near term, like the recent past, when it comes to Brady and Belichick and this whole transition away. I think, Marshall, in some ways, we're not focusing on the real issue here, which was years ago, 2017, when Brady wanted his extension and Bill wouldn't give him to him because why? He didn't want to commit to a guy that he felt was declining. Can we just acknowledge for 1 second that Bill got that wrong?
No.
Why not?
Well, I mean, because in doing so, you are looking at this year's Tampa Bay performance as your evidence, right?
That he can still play at the age of 43.
Yeah. Why don't you look more closely at what he did last year here in New England? What he did last year gives you a lot of faith that he would have looked anything like what he looks like this year in Tampa Bay if he were here in New England?
I would say
First, I mean, you can acknowledge that there is oftentimes athletes will look different when they leave a team, particularly under circumstances similar, like there's a whole revenge tour, or they're just rejuvenated, or what have you. But his performance last year filled you with a lot of confidence. Is he better than Cam Newton? Yes. And Jarrett Stidham and Brian Hoyer and a lot of other quarterbacks, all of that is true. But I don't believe he would have looked anything like what he looks like in Tampa Bay. And it's not just about the weapons, though the weapons are part of it, if he were still here in New England.
Okay, I'm just focusing on Bill's evaluation of the player. And he was not willing to extend himself with Tom Brady. Did Bill get that right or wrong?
Yes.
Again, you want to pay. I'm not sure that he got it right or wrong. If that's a fence-sitting position, what I'm saying is, I don't think. Clearly, the dude was on excellent. Clearly, he let that affect his performance. That's what we saw last year, which was, and you and I talked the other day about what is your statistic of choice, and we don't really know, but we decided we would accept QBR because that's what people seem to like. Would you like to guess where his QBR in the league was last year? Would you even guess top half or lower half?
I'd guess 16.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah,
So they're lower half of the league, and then by the way, there are a lot of. I'm not arguing he wouldn't be better than Cam Newton. I'm arguing would he be anywhere close to what he is in Tampa Bay? And he was thoroughly dickish last year. Like, he was so unhappy, and he let that show, and he did. I mean, what was great about last season? What did you enjoy? Where was the great moment in life? Was it the loss to Miami at the end of the year? Was that the one where they blew off the first round bye? Was that what made you feel great as a Patriots fan?
No.
Was it the first round exit? The following week when they're playing wild card weekend, did that make you feel great? How would any of that have been better this year than it was last year?
You'd be in the playoffs, and at least you'd have another year that you'd be trying to find the next solution.
Okay.
And that's my whole point here, is that Bill just screwed up the evaluation. Let's just call it what it is. He thought, and was it a totally unreasonable thought to think that a guy wouldn't be able to play at age 43 in the league? Not totally unreasonable, right? I'm just saying Bill got it wrong. So, this is a guy, we just need to count hits and misses here, Marshall, because this is the guy who's going to be picking your next quarterback. He picked Cam Newton, got that one wrong. He picked Jarrett Stidham, got that one wrong. He missed on the evaluation of Tom Brady, that Brady would still be able to play at age 43. He most certainly still can. He's not an elite player anymore, but is he going to give you weeks like he did on Saturday, where he throws for almost the same number of touchdowns that Cam Newton has thrown for this year? Yes. So I'm just saying.
Well, he could have thrown for more. They
could have
played the second half.
He could have set the freaking record for, if Arians had let him go out there and do it. If he wanted to, they could have done that. So I'm just saying, let's just count Bill's hits and misses, and that was a miss. He missed on the evaluation of the player. That's all I'm saying. And the points that you make are totally valid. That, he was not happy here. He's got better weapons in Tampa. Although I will say this, I think the offense the Patriots had last year, in some ways, was worse than the offense you have this year, because they didn't have an offensive line and they didn't have a running game, which they had this year. So,
well, they had it briefly.
When? Last year?
No, this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying.
Last week.
I mean, you had Edelman last year. I mean, it's a wash, really. I mean, either way, the weapons still wouldn't be good. But let's just call it what it is. Bill missed on the evaluation. It's not the end of the world. Let's just counter hits and misses, and Bill missed it. Pete's in Andover. You're up next with McCarthy and Buck. Hey, Pete.
So I think the millennials of you two is right that it's not so much that it's not so much that this season could have been great, but clearly it didn't have to go through what it's going now, because he could have kept Tom and he could have been happy with weapons, and we didn't have to. We didn't have to have this.
It didn't have to be a waste. And that's ultimately how I feel about this season, is it was a complete and total waste. You didn't build towards anything. You missed the playoffs. You're just kind of there. And here we are playing out the string, week 16 against Buffalo, when, again, we haven't done that in 20 years, where you're sitting in week 16 and you don't have something to talk about, whether they're competing for a playoff spot or competing for a first-round bye. What's the defense going to look like in the playoffs? Or do they have enough weapons? Is Brady still capable of doing it? All those things. I'm just saying that was a little bit more engaging than sitting down tonight and saying, well, it's another night with Cam Newton. Get ready, everybody.
Would you be excited if Jarrett Stidham was out there?
I'd be a little bit more intrigued. I don't think he's the next guy.
I only chuckle because I wonder how long that would last. Halfway through the first quarter? I mean, how long would this actually take? Yeah, you'd be like, wow, okay. I mean, I'm reminded often of Michael Bishop, who, everybody just, God, they wanted Michael Bishop.
Sure they did.
And at some point, Bill Belichick's like, you know what? Here you go. Let's take a look at what Michael Bishop's got. And it didn't look good even remotely. And
Yeah, and who drafted Michael Bishop?
Next week
You're a
against
fucking
the
idiot.
Jets, of all places, you talk about giving it an opportunity to look good if we don't see a little Jared Stidham. They're like, fine, guys, you fine. Here you go. Let's see this guy that even his own offensive coordinator basically says sucks. Go ahead, you guys, you know so much. Let's see how Jared Stidham.
Well, I do know that Cam Newton doesn't deserve to play. The problem is, nobody on that team deserves to play. 617-779-0985. McCarthy and Hook will continue to get your thoughts on this next.
that there's a Super Bowl victory in your timeline there that you've conveniently ignored.
Yeah, that's a fact. 2018 was a thing. But did everything else?
The timeline since the Philadelphia Super Bowl, in his telling, goes from losing that Super Bowl to losing, quote unquote, and pushing Brady out of town. Okay, didn't they win a Super Bowl in the middle of all of that?
I think we're talking about that.
In the burning down of the team and all of those things, they managed to win a Super Bowl in there. So maybe we can just be slightly more honest in our telling of exactly how things have gone here.
No, that's fair. That's true. I would also say, did he try and move on from Tom Brady? And did he win another Super Bowl after he tried to move on from Tom Brady? And now is Brady still playing at a reasonably solid level at the age of 43 while you have Cam Newton?
Yeah, all of that is true. And all of that is true. Again, which statistic from last year do you want me to go to? Because I have 2 pages of statistics open, and every one of them does Tom Brady finish in the bottom half.
I'm just saying he's, playing better.
Also, some statistics I've never heard of. Do you know what PAA is?
We're not going there.
Yeah, because I can tell you he's at nearly the bottom now.
If I don't know what it stands for, we're not talking about it. David is in Natick.
PAA is not good.
David and Natick, you're up next with McCarthy.
I think that Belichick definitely missed the perfect position by Brady has the tank, and he really should have re-upped him, I think, a few years ago, which would have gave Brady re-energized him, and maybe he could have left, ended his career on a positive note, just kind of going all in with the team that they had, and continue to build and give him the pieces that he needed. And
all right, thanks, David. You were shaking your head over there. Hope you disagree.
Re-energize Tom Brady.
Well, did they disrespect him with the contract?
No, I'm sorry. No. I'm tired of this disrespect. The dude got paid lots and lots of cash for a long time. Could he have demanded more? Sure, he absolutely could have, and maybe he should have. But ultimately, he agreed to those contracts. He's not some child who, okay, I guess I just have to play with this. He agreed to the contract. He accepted the contract. He has agents. He's an adult person. He's a business owner. He's a CEO. I'm reminded of the stupid Facebook movie. You're the CEO of the company, and you're complaining you made a bad deal with the company. Like, you are your own company, Tom Brady. If you don't like the deal, don't make the deal.
You wanted an extension. It's not about the deals and the bad.
No. Did you listen to what the caller said? Did you listen to what people would say? You need to give him a better contract. You need to give him a better contract, and then maybe he would have been happy. And then they always added the and more weapons. Always with the weapons. Just, he agreed to the contract, and then he whined about it. That's what happened. And then he spent all last year in a huff about it. Let's not make that all Bill Belichick's fault. Let's be honest about it and say that Tom Brady was part of the problem last year.
I'm not saying that Brady didn't have a role in the problem last year, Marshall. I'm just saying that Bill Belichick missed on the evaluation of the player. He can still play at the age of 43. He wasn't willing to give him a contract extension when Brady wanted it in 2017. There was a line drawn in the sand there, and you can say that, Brady should have been more willing to work with the team, and he shouldn't have become, sulky and whiny the way he became. And those are all fair criticisms of Brady. I'm just saying we need to evaluate the talent evaluation of Bill Belichick because he missed on Brady completely and totally went.
But also, I think, completely disregard the notion that maybe Tom Brady didn't want to be here
Because of what?
Because of Bill Belichick, but that has nothing to do with the contract.
Well, because
It has to do with the kind of coach that Bill Belichick is and the kind of way he runs a team. And I don't expect him, with the amount of success that he's had, to change that for Tom Brady. I don't.
I think Brady was a little hurt that Bill literally ripped a
He didn't give him the game ball. Really? He's an
Ripped
adult
the
man. He didn't give him the game ball. How come I didn't get a game ball?
What are we talking about, the game ball?
That was one of his things. I wasn't the player of the game. He never gave me the game ball.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Who cares about that?
But that's what we're talking about.
No.
This is why he didn't want to play for Bill Belichick anymore, because of things like that. I didn't get the game ball. He used me as an example. Blah, blah, blah. Like, either man up or go someplace else. And I, by the way, have no issue with him going someplace else. I don't hold that against Tom Brady. I certainly don't have an issue with him going to Tampa Bay the way everyone at this radio station does. I don't have any problem with that at all. I believe the two of them were ready to be apart from each other, and I accept that for what it is. I don't believe in some revisionist history where one or the other could have changed everything and made it all hunky-dory here.
Robertson Adams, you're up next with McCarthy. McCarthy and Doug.
Yeah, I just want to say I think you guys are a little bit wrong on this year not being lost. I think wrote the year off even before he signed Cam. He realized this was a rebuilding year. He thought, let's see what we got. All the opt-outs, we got a good advance on the defense. And I think he didn't want to draft the quarterback last year. This year's class is much better. I'm sorry, him and Tom Carter waited, but it happened. What do you guys think?
Okay, well, what did they build this year? You can say that, he wrote this year off all along, because it was a part of the rebuild. Well, what did you build? You didn't build a thing this year. You've got a guy who can't play the position, a guy that you drafted and were blowing smoke up our butts, all offseason about how great this kid was, and that's why you didn't need a quarterback, because you had Jarrett Stidham. You love Jarrett Stidham. Well, it turns out he can't play. So it's not fair of us to say that this was a waste of a season where you're going to go 7-9, 6-10, and you didn't take any steps towards building the next great Patriots team. Maybe they figure it out. Maybe they draft the next guy in a stronger quarterback draft, and they turn things around next year. I certainly hope that's the case, because I don't want to go through this experience again where you're just floundering and you don't have a solution long-term at quarterback, and you're watching a guy like Cam Newton. Like, who wants that? I don't want that. Nobody wants that. But to say they built something this year and they were going to write this off, all along, I just don't think that's right.
Yeah. I'm being told that Bill Belichick was wholly unsuccessful before Tom Brady. He was just some guy, the Twitter machine here, that Bill was a nobody before Tom Brady. So, again, this is the version of the world that we live in for Patriots fans, right? Tom Brady walks on water, and Bill Belichick is this evil guy who just is hunkered down in his stadium right now. The owner sided with the coach. Let's not forget that. The owner could have gone either way. The owner sided with the coach. Bill Belichick was very successful, at least as an assistant, before he got here. And I have said time and again that to try to separate the success of one man from the other is impossible. They were successful as the team, the two of them together.
And they will be nowhere near as successful without one another as they were together. I don't disagree with that one bit. And listen, Brady's having a strong statistical season. He's going to go to the playoffs. He's probably going to win one game. He's not going to win a Super Bowl. Like, that's just, it's not the way it is. But again, I think we do need to evaluate where things went wrong here as we're sitting here talking about a meaningless Week 16 game against the Buffalo Bills, where you're not seeing a young quarterback, you're not seeing really anything to build towards 2021, and we're just playing out the string. And that guy you let go had a pretty good weekend himself. So I don't think anything we're doing is unfair in that regard. 90 seconds, no commercials here. We'll get an update from Marshall Hood. We'll continue to take your Patriots thoughts. I do, however, want to get to the Celtics. Hell of a weekend for them. That was some good stuff. Here's some with the headlines.
From the Dallas Airtime Studio, Boston's home for sports. Yeah, BCFM and HD, Boston 98.5. The Sports Talk fever station. Sports Talk headlines.
The Patriots are in action tonight, hosting the Buffalo Bills at Gillette Stadium. The Pats go to this one, having already been eliminated from postseason contention for just the second time since 2000. The last time coming 12 years ago, the Bills, for their part, have clinched the division. They sit as the third seed in the AFC, a game back lose by a single point tonight as Jason Tatum's desperation three goes around. Monday afternoon, December 28th. It is Belger and Maz. No Belger, no Maz, no Murray today. Matt McCarthy, Marshall Hook in for the guys. It is a re-entry Monday. We're getting on all your thoughts from the weekend. 617-779-0985. We've been heavy Pats. We will continue to take your Pats thoughts. But let's just put some Celtics thoughts on the board here for a second, Hook. As you may recall, when we did our program on Thursday, I was Mr. Positivity about the Boston Celtics. You were absolutely very excited.
Yeah, I was, and I would like to apologize personally to you, to Billy, to everybody associated with the show and the people for my wrongness.
I was considered, and that was the day that I was Mr. Negativity. Not because I wanted to crap all over the Celtics, I just merely cautioned, maybe take a moment, maybe let them play a couple games before we crown them anything because they managed to beat the Bucks on a crazy lucky shot at the end of a game.
Yeah, I'll do better to be better the next time. I will try hard. I will try harder, Hook. That was not a good weekend for your Celtics right there. First.
Hello.